Matt, you are so silly. You won't do
Channel
that.
5 News recording.
Yeah.
You ain't supposed to be recording yet.
Okay. All right, go.
Today I want to convince all of you to adopt and not shop for your next pet. There are lots of animals unnecessarily being bred in terrible conditions on puppy mills. Adopting is one of the best ways to show support for the intolerance of what goes on these puppy mills. If we all work together, eventually the 15,000 puppy mills run by low-life scum will stop seeing the revenue that drives them into that business. Together we can force them to shut their doors and find a better source of income. So let us not support another pet shop puppy mill business with another one of our dollars. There isn't already a big enough population of unwanted pets as it is. Adopting gives those pets a second chance. But the number one reason we should adopt instead of buying from a pet shop is if we buy from them, chances are almost 100% that we're supporting a puppy mill. Dogs bought from these places often show signs of genetic disorders due to inbreeding, behavioral issues due to a lack of socialization, and health problems from being in unsanitary, inhumane conditions. Because many of these dogs show these kind of traits, they're often abused, abandoned, and which once again contributes to the overpopulation of homeless pets. The puppy mill conditions themselves are absolutely horrendous. They're only out for profit and the animal welfare is non-existent. Sadly, they put the quantity before quality and they jam as many dogs as they can into wire cages inside of sheds with absolutely no quality control, no climate control. They live their entire lives crammed in these cages, which is filled with urine and feces, only to be taken out to be bred or transported. These dogs often die of dehydration, starvation, infectious diseases, and probably broken hearts. The dogs never touch the ground, and their poor paws are constantly injured from fighting the open cage bottoms. Cages are set this way to allow their droppings an easier place to fall. The females that are on these puppy mills are kept bred every single heat cycle. When they can no longer breed, they're killed. Imagine spending your whole life being made pregnant against your will and kept inside of a dark, cold hole. There's so much more inhumane treatment that's occurring at these puppy mills that I cannot even scratch the surface on in these next few minutes. But if you want, you can go to a Animal Rescue Corps site that is an excellent reference for ending the puppy mill business. The puppy mills alone are a good enough reason to adopt and not shop, and they contribute to the massive overpet population of homeless pets. But pet owners themselves should also take responsibility and spay or neuter their pets to control the overpopulation. According to the American Humane Site, 3.7 million pets are euthanized each year because they couldn't find families to adopt them. So what better of a reason to adopt than to save an animal's life? There's a lot of people that have their doubts for adopting, whether it's because they think they want a puppy that they're not going to find at a pet shop, or they're looking for a specific breed, or because for some reason they think shelter pets are bad pets. None of these could be further from the truth. For those that think shelter pets are bad pets, they'll be surprised to know that most shelters have trainers on hand to work with any of the animals that show signs of behavioral issues. More often than not, those pets are just in the shelters because their owners could no longer afford them or keep them in the new house that they've moved to. Every owner can find their match because every pet has their own personality. The shelter staff and the foster parents can provide a lot of insight to this. Because these people spend so much time with the animals, they make finding the perfect match more likely than a pet shop who spends no time getting to know the merchandise. You're going to get a lot more information from a shelter than you can ever get from a pet shop or a breeder. Petfinder.com sets the record straight on some of the most common misconceptions when it comes to pet adoption. Keep in mind, it's not just dogs or cats available at these shelters. You can also find birds, reptiles, and other small types of animals. Also, please be open-minded about adopting senior pets because they too need love. When you adopt, you can always feel better about doing a good deed. Not only did you save the life of one animal, you saved the life of two. The one you adopted and the one that now has a spot at the shelter. These pets already show unconditional love. Imagine how much more loving and grateful the pet you decide to adopt will be. As opposed to pet shops, shelters do a fantastic job making sure the pets end up in safe and loving homes A lot of them do this by doing background checks on potential owners and allowing a trial period for the owner and the pet to get to know each other. If it's not a match, the shelters allow you to keep trying. So adopting becomes the all-around choice for many reasons. The adoption fees include vaccinations, the necessary vaccinations. They include the cost of spays or neuters. Generally, the pets coming from shelters are more healthier than pet shops because remember, those in pet shops coming straight from puppy mills usually have undetected health issues, and they're also more likely to have behavioral and genetic disorders, a lot of times because it's improper breeding that's going on at the mills. Buying from a pet shop is like buying a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. If you are searching for a new pet, it is absolutely worth the time to check out several shelters, several rescue groups. You'll be surprised by what catches your attention. A lot of people are surprised by an animal that catches their attention that has special needs, or for those that go in looking for a puppy, they're just as happy with the senior pet who's just as loving and even more behaved than a young puppy. But if you do have a specific wish list, like a certain breed, it is absolutely worth your time to look into several shelters. And please do not search at a breeder or pet shop. Thanks for your time. Yay, I hope I made 6 minutes. Good job, Emma.
I'm sure you were close.
Don't forget to get your stuff.